morning.
Good morning and happy Tuesday. It's good to see everybody out there. I hope you're all tuned in. Boy, have we got an exciting, one might even call it a magical
show for you today. So welcome to a visit with Santa and Mrs. Claus. We're just so glad you could join us today, and we have a very exciting
you guys
show.
are going to have some fun today.
Yeah.
And so are we. I know, because we've been chatting with our guests already today.
We have.
We are just coming up with all kinds of questions, which brings up the point.
Yes.
Do share and comment, and please, if you have a question for our guests, as I'm sure you're going to, put your comments in, and we'll try and get them the answer while you're here, or while they're here. So even better, and we're here too. Yes. But please, I don't want to wait any longer.
No.
We have got to introduce our very special guests, Terry Evanswood and Guy, Windsor, of course, like in Windsor Castle. Guy Windsor from the Grand Majestic.
Yes.
So welcome, guys.
Thank
you for being here.
My pleasure.
I'm
always happy to appear whenever the request comes in. It's a magician thing.
It is.
And we were talking before the show, and honest to God, these guys have been in Pigeon Forge for a quarter century.
Don't give away my secrets.
I have to, and some of them anyway. So, because after all, I'm magical too. But
that's true. That's true.
But anyway, seriously, Terry, you're opening this weekend, is it not?
We are. Saturday at 2:00 is my very first show for this season, and we are at the Majestic Theater, which is a big change and an exciting one.
And tell us how that came about, or you know.
Well, I started here 25 years ago as the first and only magic show, and that was back at Eagle Mountain Theater. Mm-hmm. You can tell them about. Remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, where was Eagle Mountain Theater?
Eagle Mountain sat up on the hill and featured a country music show with Jim Ed Brown and Helen Cornelius and Con Hunley, and then Terry came in and started their daytime show, and oddly enough, I was an original cast member in that production.
Yes, yeah.
Amazing. So you guys have been working together.
And now he's my boss.
Yeah.
So it's kind of role reversal.
Turnabout is fair play.
It is, isn't it? You never know what the future holds.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So we started there, and after that run, that was 2 years.
2 years then.
And then I moved to Country Tonight Theater doing their daytime show, and I believe that's when we first met.
No,
actually, we came afterward.
You had your own theater.
Okay.
I can't remember the name now.
I did 8 years at Country Tonight Theater, and then I moved to Magic Beyond Belief Theater. It was the first magic show for that building.
That's where
we met.
Yes,
that's where we met.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was over a decade ago.
Your sleigh was parked on the top of that building with the tiger up there.
Yeah, and that wasn't easy, you know, and especially it made the reindeer very nervous.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were just like this when we got there.
Trust me, it made me nervous, too.
Yeah.
So I was
Tigers seemed happy.
Yeah. But audience members were disappearing. I think that's why the tigers were happy.
I think it could have been.
Had something to do with it. Yeah.
So that was a 3-year run.
Okay.
And then I moved to Wonderworks.
Yes.
And was there for a decade. 10 years went by like that.
It
doesn't seem
in the blink
possible.
of an eye.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem, exactly.
It just doesn't
That's kind of
seem
like
possible.
life. You have to pay attention or it just goes through,
It
goes away.
It does.
So 10 years there, and now at the Majestic Theater, so a total of 25 years. You might say after Eagle Mountain Theater, Country Tonight, Magic Beyond Belief, and now Majestic, I'm the only magician touring Pigeon Forge. That's how that works.
I hadn't thought about it that way, Terry, but
it's funny
and you
it's
still
true.
have a lot of theaters to go.
Well, they're getting less and less, but now I think I'll go back to Eagle Mountain and just keep doing this run.
Just start on the hill and go back around and
do
the circuit.
Yeah.
And
really,
guys, you've been in a lot of different shows. In fact, you and I met at here while you were doing the Silver Bow.
Correct.
So, and tell us a little bit about what you're doing now and
Well-
where you. I know you guys have kind of interacted back and forth, but how's that worked out for you?
I was raised here, Sevier County High School graduate, so I was local to the area. Started in actually at Dollywood, performing back in the day,
Wow.
and then joined into Terry's show, and then
you doing characters at Dollywood? Did you? I remember you did Chaplin.
Yeah,
Was it one of your characters?
Yeah, Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin.
And,
Yeah.
Wow.
He can take
Yeah.
on various characters. Always has been able to.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay.
It's because I don't really know who I am.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Well, let's not go down that road.
So yeah, the magic show, and then I was at Country Tonight with the magic show as well, and then
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
departed to go off into the world and try and be an adult. And
How'd that work out for you?
What are you insinuating?
well, I'm back here. So,
Oh, so obviously, yeah, this was more fun.
yeah, it's good to be home in the mountains.
His resume is very impressive. Tell them about some of the places.
Yeah, I went to work for Disney Entertainment, doing multiple things, some of which I can't talk about.
Right.
And then toured overseas in Tokyo for the Disney parks.
Oh, boy.
Went to
Wow.
Los Angeles, did a lot of film and television out there. Some very recognizable shows, Desperate Housewives, Las Vegas, CSI Miami.
Yeah.
And then went to work for Universal Studios doing some character work and improvisation. Then toured with them over to their Singapore park. And then I came back home to the mountains, and I'm really glad to be home. It's great.
You know what, that travel, from my observations of his career and resume, what those travels have allowed is for him not to only expand his stage and performance capability, but also learn the business of show business.
Right.
And I always tell people that business is two words, show and business. And unfortunately, business is the bigger of the two words.
Yeah,
I
it
can
is.
have a show, but without the business, there's no show. And if it's just business, it has to be one or the other. And for him, he's got what he brings to the table for now, my performance, is both. So he understands what I need from a stage point of view, what it requires to pull off my show, because years ago he was actually a part of it. Although
Right.
the show has evolved and grown over the years, he already understands magic and understands how a magician works, but also the marketing aspects. So it's really a good collaboration.
It sounds like it, and you're right, Terry, that so often, even with us, with our books, we've always kind of laughed and said the easy part was to actually create the books.
Right.
The hard part is the marketing and getting them out there.
And I'll
that's
tell
And the
you,
business
I'll
side.
tell you
And
why
that's the
why
business
that is
side.
for you, I'm sure, and also for performers, is because people who are more apt to be creative are passionate about that.
Yes.
So
yes.
there's a driven passion
Yes.
that will keep you going, and that's how I am about magic. But then you find that you have to market it. So I can guarantee you from what you're saying, you're passionate about writing,
Yeah.
you're passionate about sharing those stories and interests, especially with our youth. You were
Right.
telling me before the show started, one of the main reasons you started creating this Santa time
Yes.
with the unfortunate situation we're in.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's it. And
Trying to appeal to the families and make the kids feel better about
Right. Right.
which you guys really need to. Don't get
Yeah.
nervous. Don't get scared. Things are going to work out.
Yeah.
We're going to get through all of this, and we have wonderful people to help us, like these guys that are going to keep you laughing. So
now,
go ahead. After you.
Okay, after me. One of the questions I wanted to ask you, Terry, and we talked a little bit about this before the show, but you have been here 25 years. So how do you keep your magic alive and talking about your passion? So what's your secret to that?
Well, again, I guess the number one reason that I'm still doing what I do is because I love this. I started this when I was a kid. My parents gave me a magic set for Christmas, and or maybe it was from Santa.
It could
Or maybe they provided it through Santa to me. But
I remember bringing you a few things like that. So.
right? I'm not surprised.
And you kept asking me for rabbits.
Yeah, they tend to disappear.
That didn't.
But I really, I had no other skills. I wasn't really great academically or in the sporting arena. But magic, I took to right away. What I loved about it is seeing other people's reaction. This is a key. It wasn't just the trick or the method or making the effect. It was the reaction that magic gets. That's what was so cool about it. That's what was special for me as a kid, being able to finally do something that other people would react to in a positive way.
Right.
Either amazed, scratching their head, or laughing. This is really the idea of the purpose of a magician. So I stuck into that mold of trying to create that moment of fantasy, imagination, wonder, delight, that experience that typically only a magician can bring. Certain people love the ballet. Certain people love drama. There's all these different aspects of entertainment and different vehicles, different modes of entertainment. And for me, it just became magic. That was really the point. So now, to answer your question, here, after 25 years and 7,500, and I've lost count, over 7,500 shows, you're asking me, how do I stay interested and alive?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'll tell you how. There is not a show, and I can promise you that, and other entertainers who have had long runs will have to tell you the same thing. When I'm waiting to appear and the curtain, that overture's playing and the curtains get ready to part, the butterflies are already going in my stomach. And I've told many people, including Guy, the day that I don't have those butterflies in my stomach is the day that I know I'm done. That is the true energy and love for a performer. So what's different for me, the passion is the same. The butterflies and the excitement and that nervous excitement will always be. What changes for me is the audience. They think they're watching me. Are you kidding? I'm watching them. So, and the audience is different every show. Every show, for me, the curtain opens and it's like a new magic trick. They might be seeing my magic for the first time, but I'm seeing them for the first time, and I love watching them. You know, you have all kinds of people. You have the people that drop their mouth open or their eyes go real wide or they're amazed. Then you got this guy going, impress me. You know, and that's the guy that I'm really focused on.
And you always do. You always manage to impress that person.
Well,
Yeah.
you're
that's
easy
what's
to
amazing.
impress because being Santa, you love magic, and so it's kind of natural for you.
Well, of course.
And it is
just,
true.
You know,
And-
we
and-
have a true. We both admire performers.
Yeah.
That can do your job the way you do, and the talents that you have that
Thank
God's
you.
given
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Which
Yes.
is just amazing.
Well, you're
And-
like big kids.
We
I mean,
are.
that's what
I
they
was
do.
just going to say, I think that you and I are probably the ones in the audience going,
Yeah, we're the ones with the mouths
yeah,
open
going,
now.
wow,
Did you see that?
And I did. You know what? I remember your show going, did you see that? I don't know how he did that. And that is the magic, and it is, and you're right.
But also the dancing and the singing and
We
everything
try to
else
combine
that-
a little bit
all
of every
that.
type of entertainment in the show to make it just a little bit more than a magic show.
Right.
There are a lot of magicians who just perform one trick after another for my next trick, for my next trick, for my next
Yeah.
trick, and there's not enough variety.
Yeah.
We have beautiful girls in the show, Jessica and Samantha.
Yes.
Just bring so much to the table. Both behind the scenes and on stage, they are really seriously involved in the magic show and making it a success. So we have a tight little family. TJ running things, Samantha and Jessica helping, make the magic on stage, and my stage manager who has been with me for years, Mike Phillips,
Right.
is also so involved on and off stage. They're back there hustling, they're moving props, helping with costume changes, loading illusions, pushing the smoke machine, open curtains. I mean, they all stay busy, and that's one of the ways I designed the show on purpose for it to be a little family and not 100 people who have to all be in sync.
Right.
It's
right.
just us.
Yeah.
And we're watching out for each other, and I'm watching the audience. One of my favorite types of people in the crowd, I don't know if we've ever talked about, is not this guy or the person in awe, but this parent.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm not offended at all. They're not watching me.
They're watching
I love
their
it when a
kids.
parent goes like this and they're watching the kid.
They're watching the
that's
kids.
magic.
That
is the biggest compliment, because that father or that mother is willing to let go of their attention and their experience of childlike wonder to live it through the eyes of their child.
Yes.
That's true love.
And that's always the most wonderful thing, is to be able to talk to children after the show and get their impressions and just see the wonder and the awe.
You must see it all the time as Santa. You know,
do.
We are very blessed that
when
way.
these children walk up to you, I'm sure they're just
all
in
the
awe.
time.
They're going to meet Santa Claus and his wife.
It's funny how they'll stare at your beard and your eyes. And it's like they're trying to memorize you.
Yeah.
And you've seen that for sure. It's like, wow, you're really magical. What makes you magical? You know, so they'll stare at you to try and remember
There's
something.
some funny.
Very
The kid stories are the best.
Oh,
They're the best.
I would agree with you on that, and you know, it is, and I think that's again a lot of the passion that we have. It is from the children.
I'll tell you one. You were talking about how important that what we do and what we say in front of children will make a lasting impression.
Yes.
Parents, the adults, teachers, preachers, we have to be very aware and very careful of what we say in front of kids, because we are making a lifetime impression on them. And I know that from the number of kids who come back every year to see the show, or multiple times, the amount of repeat business of people coming back, because of the way you make them feel. They might not remember specifically a trick that I did or a joke that I said, but they will remember the way they felt when they saw the show or when they met you. It's a great responsibility to be responsible for the way children perceive you. I'll give you a perfect example that just happened last week. I don't know if I told you this one. True story. A very dear friend of mine who brings her daughter to the show regularly. I'd say she's about probably 7 years old. So at that point where she's starting to question a lot of things. You know, if children are too young, they don't get it, because there's a woman floating it. Maybe that's how things work here. You know, there's an age cutoff, except for Mr. and Mrs. Claus. There is an age cutoff where kids realize, okay, a lady shouldn't be able to float in the air, but there she is. Then they feel the awe and wonder when they know what's possible and what's not.
Right.
Well, and as, not to interrupt you, but as Glenn Cothran says, you know, there's a child in all of us, and that's what we're trying to see, is to bring back that child, and to feel that sense of awe and wonder and magic that we've somehow lost. Well, we're getting a lot of comments from Sue, and thank you for answering, Guy. I appreciate you doing. And she says she's going to come and see you guys soon. So now, I think, why don't we take a little break? You know, have some water and relax for a second, and we'll be right back. And boy, I'll tell you what, if you guys have some questions for Terry and Guy, this is such an opportunity that you can get to find out some things, you know, even before the show starts. And we're getting a lot of likes and love, so keep watching with us, and we'll be back just right after this. Hello, I'm Joe Moore, TV host on Mountain Fun Life Channel and the international multi-award winning author. As co-host of Storytime with Santa and Mrs. Claus, I draw on my writings describing the North Pole and all its adventures from my Santa Claus trilogy. Each book in the set will provide you hours of thrilling, delightful fantasy that will return you to being a child again. Available in hardcover, softcover, or digitally, these books can be purchased wherever fine books are sold, or if you want an autographed copy, through the NorthPolePress.com. Pick up one or all three of the books and believe again.
Welcome back.
Boy, I'll tell you, we're having so much fun. I hope you guys are too. Boy,
we are. You know,
I could go on like this for hours with these two. Boy, they are absolutely super.
We're having fun, and I think that probably comes back to you as well at home. So But yeah, so let's.
So now, I want to get back to Guy for a second. You know, because what are some of the things you are doing right now besides running the whole marketing department for the Grand Majestic? I mean, what shows are you doing, and what are you doing?
Well, the Grand Majestic is home to 4 fantastic shows. Of course, now we have The Magic of Terry Evanswood as one of our shows. We also have our Soul of Motown show, which is a concert of Motown's greatest hits and artists. One of the top 5 rated shows in the area for a decade now.
Wow.
And we have our Hit Parade show, which is our ultimate jukebox review. It's music of the 50s and 60s and a special appearance by Elvis.
Aha.
And I'm in that show as well, so I sing and dance in that one, or give my best attempt to. And
He's so modest. Don't believe him.
and then we have our Hazard Hoedown show, which is a musical parody of the Dukes of Hazzard. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
But it's so fun.
But it is. I sometimes struggle with, am I having more fun than anybody else? So I have
That's
to kind
not
of
a struggle.
reel it
That's the
in.
way it's supposed
yeah,
to be.
it's good.
So-
It's good. Yeah,
It's a lot of fun.
So what are you in the hoedown show?
I play Boss Hog.
You know, I was going to guess that because you look like you could play a perfect boss hog.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
No? Oh, he'd have so much fun with it, you know?
I need a little bit more
Oh,
passion.
no, don't go there. You know? I mean, give me another month or two, you know?
Well, come over. You can sub for me. It really is a lot of fun. And Terry was talking about watching audience members and their reactions and how what you do on stage and what you do out there in the world makes such an impression on kids.
Sure.
Of course, with the theater right now, we're not doing any kind of audience participation just for safety reasons and social distancing.
Right.
For the Hazard show, we did try to do, and we will probably continue to do, a socially distanced meet and greet, because we found that by the end of the show, people who didn't know these characters before were in love with them. You know, they wanted to talk to Boss Hogg. They wanted to meet Daisy Duke.
Yeah.
And this past week's show, after the show, we had a small group of kids that were there, and we were doing our socially distant meet and greet, and the kids wanted to talk to Boss Hogg. Even though he's the bad guy, they still wanted to talk to Boss Hogg, and they were trying to get their t-shirt autographed. They got everybody's autograph except for Boss Hogg, and I said, well, you know, do you want Boss to sign it too? And they're like, I don't know. You tried to take Uncle Jesse's farm. And I'm so it became so, real to them.
Yeah.
So I pulled out a wad of $100 bills with Boss Hogg's picture on it. I paid each of the kids, and then they got my autograph. So,
Oh, how cool.
some people say you can't buy love, but I beg to differ.
There's a price.
There is a price.
There are some occasions, isn't there?
There are some occasions. Well, how cool is that? Well, boy, I'll tell you, and one of the things that Mrs. Claus and I intend to do is we are going to swing by and
Yes.
catch every one of the 4 shows.
Yes.
And
Yes.
see what you guys are doing, so we can talk about it here at Mountain Fun Life.
Yeah.
And other shows, and of course we might be looking for other reasons. We do have
and we might even attempt to do a little live video.
Let's
I know.
have you-
Look at it. There's surprise.
Yeah, look at the surprise on there. What?
And well, you should look surprised. We're still. You
The
might
elves
say-
are better at it than we
Yeah,
are, but
we're
we
still
are
kinda
learning.
honing
we are
our
learning.
skills at that, but
Right.
but we do a little bit about that as well.
And we mentioned Terry's website. Hannah, can you bring that up on the screen, please?
Yeah, we just
if you want to know about the Grand Majestic and its shows,
Yes.
including, of course, Terry's show.
Yes, this is I have this up, and this is the Grand Majestic Theater website, which is thegrandmajestic.com. So you want to pull that up, and there is Terry. But I'm just going to come up here, and there's
Now,
the...
who might that be?
You know
Hey.
that?
You know that.
I don't know.
That
but he
looks
is
like Boss
good
Hogg
looking.
to me.
He does, doesn't he?
good looking.
Yeah, yeah. And then we have, let's see if my cursor will move. Come on. There we go. We got the hit parade, and then of course
The
Motown.
soul of Motown,
So,
yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
Now,
Well, this, if you don't mind, I'll
No.
tell you a little bit about this. This is actually our new campaign, marketing campaign for the theater. A lot of times you just see commercials and stuff for theaters, and we pride ourselves on all 4 of our shows having a connection to our audience. And this year we have started this new program called The Invitation. So we're inviting you to participate in our shows with us. So we invite you to come sing, we invite you to come dance, we invite you to laugh, we invite you to marvel. Your invitation to entertainment awaits at the Grand Majestic. It's not just about coming and sitting and seeing a show, it's about being a part of it. And even though right now we have to be socially distanced, there's still no reason why you can't sing in your seat and you can't dance
Sure.
in your seat and you can't sit
Absolutely.
there and be
Sure.
absolutely amazed and
Yeah.
have that connection with what's going on stage. So your invitation awaits as well. Please come. We invite you to come sing, dance, laugh, and marvel with us.
And what I want to add to what you're saying is that all shows, all the 4 shows at the Majestic, they're all a family-oriented show. Which, and I mean not just in the material, but the way it's accepted. Kids will love the hit parade and all of the other shows at the Majestic. The lights, the sound, the entertainment, just an amazing show. The Motown show, and your show, the one that you're at the
Hazard.
Boss Hogg. Oh my gosh. I walked in the back of the theater the other day, and I think you delivered one line, and I was hee-hawing. So although a lot of people think that magic is just for kids, it couldn't be further from the truth. The kids love magic, but the best part is that adults leave the theater feeling that sense of wonder and
Right.
delight that they hadn't felt in a long time. So it's not as if the magic show is for kids and
Right.
the music shows are for adults. All 4 shows are designed on purpose to accommodate and entertain all ages.
the entire family.
Well, Mrs. Claus will tell you, she's always one of those that's hitting me, in musical shows. So I guarantee if I get into the hit parade or something, you will hear me.
I know
And we
the
welcome
signature
You
laugh.
can't help it. I mean, I'll
We
be sitting
welcome
there
it.
singing away.
Santa definitely loves to sing, and I think that's. I'm really glad that you brought that up because, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on the COVID, but even though this is a serious time right now for us, but how wonderful to attend a show like this where you can put that all aside, you can go in, you can just enjoy.
Right.
And life is still here. Life can be enjoyed. There's no reason why we can't go out and enjoy life and participate in something like this. So,
And since the Majestic Theater is taking all of the responsibilities
yes,
and
yes.
precautions of keeping you safe,
yes.
there's no reason why you can't just go out
No.
and enjoy yourself.
That's right.
And
Yes,
and
absolutely.
really
Yeah.
feel good. And this,
Yeah.
if there's any time that we've needed something like this,
It's now.
It's now.
We need that entertainment.
We need an escape.
We do.
That's
Right.
what live entertainment, like what you provide,
Yes,
and
yes.
what we provide in the Majestic. It's an opportunity to escape from reality. And again, not just the magic show. All
All of them.
entertainment provides people that escape
Yes.
that we so desperately need, especially in this environment.
Absolutely, and just before we forget, because we sometimes do that, but tell us now where the Grand Majestic is, so that people
Yes.
know
And,
how to
and a
find.
little bit about the show times and days and
Absolutely.
stuff, please.
Absolutely. Grand Majestic Theater is on the Parkway here in Pigeon Forge, 2330 Parkway. We are at traffic light number 1, right next door to the brand new Sunliner Diner. and across from the Cracker Barrel. So if you're from the South, you always know where the Cracker Barrel's at.
Then
it's
the
a
closest one.
Yes. And our phone number is 865-774-7777. There's a lot of sevens in that.
That number again.
Yeah, that number again is 865-774-7777.
Boy, he does that like a commercial.
Right?
Oh, by the way, Chris Payton says, I seen the Hazard Hoedown, and you are a great boss and a great
Thank you.
reflection of humor and fun. So
Thank you very
Well, there
much.
you go.
And,
Thank you.
and then Chris has a question for Terry. Did all the other performers move to the new location with you? That's a good question.
They did. Everyone in the Magic Show has joined us. I've been very fortunate to have the same, key group for many years, for the last 10 years for sure, some of them longer, which is important to me, and also a reflection that, like what I said, we're just not fellow co-workers, we're a family.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not just friends, we're a family that make the magic together. So we can kind of read each other's mind on stage and know if there's an issue or something's becoming difficult or there's a challenge coming up. It's not like we have to have this conversation. There's a energy between us that really helps bring the show to life.
Oh, I'm sure.
I was going to say, too, speaking back on COVID,
Yes.
it has obviously changed the way entertainment is presented,
Correct.
and even how businesses operate. As a small independent business that our theater is, we obviously had to make some changes to our operating procedures based around what's happening to make not just our staff safe, but our guests coming in as well. We want to welcome everybody with open and safe arms. One of those things was the theater was formerly a dinner theater where a
In
meal
fact, it
was
still says
included.
dinner show out front.
It does.
Yeah.
I got a new sign coming.
Oh, good. Don't
so-
want to cause confusion there.
Yeah, we made the difficult decision to discontinue offering the food with the show ticket because it was a buffet, and there are certain concerns around
you
that.
can't do buffets right now.
Right. So a lot of our guests don't realize that we actually still have food. So now, while we are no longer operating as a dinner theater, we have become the area's first dine-in theater. So our kitchen is still open. We have a menu that you can order from at showtime. You can order from the concession stand, or you can order directly from your table using a mobile app. And your food is cooked to order and freshly delivered to your
Isn't
table.
that fantastic?
Oh my gosh,
So-
what a
What?
huge
I'm so glad
improvement.
you-
This is
You
a
mentioned that.
concept that Guy has implemented to still bring more to the table for the guests who are coming to
Literally.
the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. And a lot of the repeat business that they get at the Majestic, to be able to still have that experience of having a dinner just prior to and during
Right.
the show.
Yeah. Oh,
And we've
how
got some great
wonderful.
stuff on the menu. It's more small meal appetizer style items, chicken tenders and fries, fried
Right.
pickles, some good southern
Easy
favorites.
finger
Southern
food
food.
kind
Yes.
of thing.
Yeah.
A pork barbecue sandwich that will melt in your mouth.
Oh gosh.
We recently, this past weekend, we had a chicken and waffle dinner plate that was included on the
Oh
menu.
wow.
So you can still come to the theater and still dine. All the seating in the theater has a table, so you can eat prior to and during the show. It's just not included with your show ticket. So you have the option now. Do I want to go and eat at the theater while I'm watching the show, or do I want to eat somewhere else before and then just come see the show? So now
Well,
we
and as
have
you
that
mentioned, the
opportunity.
Sunliner is right across the street
It
if
is.
you want to catch an earlier supper
Yeah.
or
Exactly.
later supper.
Exactly.
And that actually is quite nice
That's
because you're
nice.
right. It
That is.
sometimes you would prefer to eat before or
They have
after.
an option at
Yeah,
least this way, where
exactly.
they're not locked into a certain ticket price that would also,
Right.
include the dinner. They have an option, which is the best way you can provide that.
Yeah. That's
And
great.
and is the safest for both your
It is.
patrons and
Yeah.
your
It
staff.
is.
yeah.
It
So
is.
what a nice idea,
Thank you.
Guy.
that's-
Boy,
Thank you very much.
very well
I
done.
know.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's
Boy.
brilliant.
That's cool.
So, and now, Terry, you're going to be debuting August 1st, is
August
that
1st at
correct?
2 o'clock. It's an easy way to remember our schedule. As you remember years ago, if you can remember the letter T, here it is. It's Terry at 2 on Tuesday, Thursday, and there's a T on Saturday. Ta-da! So just remember the letter T.
Okay.
Terry at 2 o'clock, Tuesday, Thursday, and a T on Saturday. So you can't forget the schedule for the magic show.
T for 2.
Yeah, T.
And so when, let's just, since we've talked about all the shows, if you don't mind, let us know when your other
Absolutely.
shows are on as well.
Obviously, Terry Show again Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 2 p.m. starting this Saturday. Our Soul of Motown performances happen 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. It alternates between 8 p.m. and a 5 p.m. time slot.
Okay.
Our Hazard Show is usually twice a week on Wednesday and Saturday at 5 o'clock. And our Hit Parade Show is 3 to 4 times a week, alternating Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 5 or 8. So the schedule gets a little confusing, but it is available on our website, thegrandmajestic.com. All the way at the bottom of the page, you can click on a calendar and check out any of the show dates between now and the end of the year.
And then I think you were talking about earlier that they need to buy tickets at the show. Is that
Correct.
Yeah, they can't buy it online.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Online
Yeah.
sales have been removed right now because we like offering reserved seating, but unfortunately with social distancing, it's really hard to leave it up to the general public to
Right.
book their seats and know a safe amount of distance to be from other individuals. So you call the theater directly to book your seats, and that way we can guarantee that we're putting you in an appropriate socially distanced seating arrangement. And that's just for the comfort of everybody involved, because if you just book it online, you'll end up sitting in somebody's lap, and who knows.
Well, yeah.
We don't have that happen
We don't
at all.
need that, and you don't need the confusion either.
No.
So,
Exactly.
because, if everybody gets there and it's like, well, no, you can't have those seats. You can have these
That's
seats. Or,
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's easier just to get it taken care of at
Absolutely.
the theater,
Yeah.
and everybody winds up being happy this way, and no confusion about. So, thank you for taking the extra precautions
Absolutely.
on
Yeah.
this, and for
Yeah.
making sure that everybody stays safe, including yourselves. So, because
Absolutely.
we want you out there and performing. So,
That's right.
not sitting at home.
No.
Okay. Well, boy, so much information, and I'm sure there's a bunch more out there. That let me just check and make sure nobody. Okay. Oh, Fred Michaels says Terry is an awesome guy.
Oh, Fred
and
Michaels.
we already
Thank
knew
you.
that. So,
And we want to say thank you, and thank
you
you
guys
to
are
our
great.
special
Thank
guests.
you.
We're
Thank you.
so
I appreciate you
thrilled
having us.
that you were able to come and join us, and we've just had a wonderful, magical time
Yes.
with you this morning. And
Would you
thank
like
you.
a little magic?
could you
please,
finish
could
us
you-
off
yes.
with that?
Well, yeah. I'll do one of my favorite close-up magic tricks. I noticed that you've got your black Grand Majestic, and I've got
Ta-da.
one of my sparkly Liberace starter kits out here. And I will show you. It's a standard line.
You have to be old enough to appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I've heard rumor, but I'm going to roll back the old sleeves, which magicians are supposed to do, and show the hands empty. I do want to mention at no time will my fingers ever leave my hands. That is for sure. I promise you that. It's true.
I had to think about that.
All right, I'm going to take a little, Santa and all the kids, big kids, kids at heart, use your imagination. I'm going to take a little white off my jacket. I know you might not believe it's there, but it's there. Can you see it?
Yes.
Watch, I can make it disappear. Ta-da.
Wow.
Okay, maybe that wasn't it. I'll try again.
That was impressive.
Take a little white and place it in. Now you have a little black. Go ahead and, place it in. Just place it in that inside. Good. Now watch closely. I see a little white has appeared.
What's happening?
Does he still have a jacket? Oh, for gosh sake! Oh my gosh!
If If only these were dollar bills.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah.
Well, I don't have that frog in my throat anymore. So I'll be just in perfect shape for Saturday's show at 2 o'clock at the Grand Majestic Theater.
Yes.
We'll see you there.
Abracadabra.
Very well done. Well, thank you again, both
Yes,
of you, for
thank
being
you.
here. And
Thank you.
we are going to be excited to come and see you both
We
there
are.
on
Come
stage.
on down.
So.
And again, thank you for joining us.
And make sure you join us next Tuesday. I don't know if we can beat this, but we're going to try. So
Have a
take
good
care,
week.
everybody. Be safe and be kind.